When we talk about or think about the law of attraction, before we even consider that law and several other corollary laws, when we talk about everything is energy, what does that really mean? Right? Like, what does that really mean? And when you think about, we use telescopes to look into outer space, into the cosmos, and we use microscopes to look deeper into material things until it all disappears anyway, right? We can see electrons and protons and muons and quarks and leptons, the very fundamental building blocks of nature, of our body, of plants, of the ocean, of everything in the known cosmos. And it appears that everything is vibrating. If you were to look through these electron microscopes, deep into a plant or even your hand, although it appears to be solid, we see vibrating packets of this thing we call energy, vibrating packets of something called quanta, right? And so if everything is vibrating, then is it possible, and this is a dialogue, right? Is it possible that when you and I have a thought, a positive one, a negative one, a thought about something we want or something we don't want, right? So a thought, a spark of electrochemical activity in the brain, a thought, we say, I want this, I don't want that. Is it possible? Let's just have a little dialogue here. Is it possible that since that thought is a burst of electrical activity and also releases a chemical that correlates with that thought, is it possible that the electrochemical activity is vibrating, oscillating, moving, whatever you want to call it, at a certain frequency that resonates or repels with certain things in the physical world? Is it possible? If everything is energy, how do you get into resonance with what it is you want to, attract? How do you get mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually in resonance with the stuff that you want instead of what you don't want? Here's one of the biggest challenges. Our brains are wired for safety first, emotional safety, physical safety, financial safety first. And so in order to protect ourselves, our brain actually has to think about, where is there danger? Like, where could I get hurt? And in thinking about where you can get hurt, is it possible that sometimes we're in a temporary or permanent state of fear? And if we're in a permanent or temporary state of fear, is it possible that that state of fear or uncertainty or self-doubt is actually attracting, resonating with the stuff that we don't want? One of the keys to applying the law of resonance is getting your mindset right, the brain, right, focused on what it is that you want, getting your heart, right, the emotions aligned as well. So it's head and heart aligned also with what it is you want to resonate with. And then there's another piece to it that not a lot of people think about or talk about, and that's the gut, right? The brain-gut axis is in communication with each other at all times. And there's a lot of research around, you've got to really follow your instincts, right? Your intuition, your instinctual feeling about stuff. So you got to get the head, the heart, and the gut aligned. And that is really the winning combination to be in a state of resonance.
You get your ass kicked along the way. Things go sideways. Things go wrong. People let you down. Partners don't work out. Money falls out. All these things happen. But I want you to reframe it in your mind. Success tax auditor is looking and going, okay, let's put another obstacle in front of Wendy's way. Let's see if she can get through that. Oh, she saw the obstacle, turned around, went back. I don't think she's going to be the one that reaches her full potential, but she could just live life like everybody else and she'll be okay. Let's see about Liberio. Let's see what's up with Liberio. Let's throw some crap in front of him. Let's throw some fears in front of him. Let's throw a massive obstacle. Wow. He fought it. He was a little sad. It was a little tough, a little stressful, a couple sleepless nights, but he's still going. Okay, check that box. Let's wait about 3 months and throw some more in his way. And that's what I believe success tax is. I think we have to go through the trials and tribulations. We have to build the grit. We have to build the wisdom, or else we don't deserve it. I teach my daughter. She's killing it in softball. I said, you win when no one else is watching. You have to pay your success tax by practicing all the time when no one's cheering, no one's excited, no one's doing it. Over the summer, she's down here in my office pitching because she's paying her success tax. But guess what? In the fall, when she plays, she's going to kill it. When she comes out and all her friends are going to be like, oh my God, everybody's admiring you. You got the game ball. I wish I could do that. You wish you could do it? Pay success tax. If you're not willing to pay it, get out of the freaking game. Don't think it is. Listen, everybody wants to be on stage in front of 50,000 people jamming and singing with everybody going crazy and the crowd singing their name. But you know what everybody's not willing to do? Is play in their room until their fingers bleed, to pack up an old van and drive around to gig when 2 people show up. Most people aren't willing to do that. Everybody looks at the Beatles and how amazing they were, right? Do you know the Beatles played like 10,000 different over the years? They played almost every night, like 6 nights a week, sometimes 2 gigs a night for years and years and years, never being noticed, sometimes one person in the audience. They paid their success tax, and then all of a sudden they were an overnight sensation. They weren't an overnight sensation. So think of it that way. Frame it as success tax is part of the journey. And if you could say, I'm not saying you need to like the crap. I'm not saying you have to like the journey. I'm not saying you have to like when somebody screws you over, the deal goes sideways. But what if you could go, wow, if I get through this, I get another checkbox from the success tax auditor. You start looking at life that way. Things change, and you realize you're here because you're learning those skills to get through them easier and quicker. Most of the world sees a wall and they turn around and go back. They're not deserving of the success. You are the type that will pound through it, get under it, get around it, climb over it, or blow it up with dynamite. And that's who wins the game. So with that said, let's take it a step further, because I could talk about this till I'm blue. And like, I could talk about this every moment of every day when it comes to my business, because I've crushed it in my business. Those fears that I had of being a broke kid, I didn't have the right education. I didn't go to college. I didn't have money. I didn't come from the right town. My parents both worked to make, probably 35 grand combined separately. And we always stressed about money. And I lived in a bathroom with my dad. I lived in a trailer park with my mom until we got evicted. I mean, crazy stuff, right? In business, I overcame all those fears. I failed miserably. Winston Churchill said the definition of success is going from failure to failure without losing your enthusiasm. Well, I did that before I ever read that quote, and I kept going. I paid my success tax. I failed miserably and I made it. And in business, I can make those decisions. I can fail miserably. I can lose millions of dollars on a deal, and I can be over in a day. I could have faith in someone I'm working with and they let me down and it hurts, and I'm over in a day. I can rebound fast, learn from it, and go. I have trained my body. I've trained my insides. I've trained my physiology. I've trained my words. I've trained my subconscious that we are freaking unstoppable. Nothing, as a combined body and unit, nothing can stop us.